Hello, it's Kadisha. I'm back with another video. I am on my soapbox again about us in willing sin, and I'm smiling, of course, because I'm talking about me on my soapbox, but it's not a joking matter, it's not a funny matter. I was able to be with some individuals a couple days ago, and they're in willing sin. In willing sin, and it just saddened me because oftentimes, like I said, people want what's real. We oftentimes say one thing, but we do something else. And I'm at the stage in my life where I don't play with the Lord. I'm not taking anything He does, well, anything that I do that I know is sin, I'm not taking it lightly. And I'm realizing, of course, there's consequences for any action that I take, whether that's good or bad. But I see people just wallowing in their sin and continuing to be the same way that they've always been and expecting a different outcome. And I'm just here to just, I guess, talk about the elephant in the room. We cannot expect a difference if we're continuing to do the same thing that we've always done. And this saddens me. It really does. It makes me sad because I'm just like, why do we continually get on this same cycle and not just get off? And I know that's easier said than done. However, if you want something different, you're going to have to do something different in order to see in order to see that come to fruition in your life. But yeah, so I was talking to an individual and they were just saying, basically, they were just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to even talk about it because it's just sad. It's really sad. But, and then I see how they get so particular about certain things, and that's just a human nature. Of course, none of us are perfect in any area, but we will be good in or good or okay in a certain area, and we will be just like really like pushing it or whatever. But then we don't try to make the other areas that we're weak in, we don't try to make those better, and we just sit there and just allow it to be like, yeah, I'm this way. And I'm here to tell you that you're not. You can overcome whatever it is that you're facing, but it's up to you to first, of course, realize it and then move forward. Because the Lord showed me, I'll be at work and sometimes people be asking me to do stuff and I'm just be like, no, I'm not doing that. Or I may say, okay, and I just be like, I'm like, I don't feel like doing that, so I'm not going to do it. And the Lord convicts me and He says, no, you say you're going to do it, so you need to do it. So either you're going to tell that person that you're not going to do it, or you're going to, you're going to do it. Because to know to do right and doing wrong is considered sin, and it doesn't matter what it is. So we know the sins in the Bible that the Lord considers, abomination to Him, and that you would not inherit the kingdom. We know those sins, but it's about the things that we know in our hearts, or we choose like, oh no, this is not right, and we choose to do it anyway. And the Lord is saying like, that is sin. So it's up to us to realize like that's going to be consequences for those actions. And like I said, when I saw it, it just saddened me, and the person's just okay with it. They're like, okay. And I feel like it's easy to get into that state where you normalize sin. And I'm here to speak out against it because, of course, this holds me accountable. This makes sure that I don't get into something that I cannot necessarily get myself out of, because I've chosen to keep doing it time and time again. And that's what happens when we grow comfortable in sin, that we start to do it so much that it doesn't even affect us anymore. We think like, oh, this is normal. And I'm like, no, Lord, I'm not about to get into a place where I'm comfortable with sin. And so it's up to me to speak out against it, whether that's in my life, whether it's in my family's life, whoever's life. But more importantly, I have to make sure that I'm standing up against it or saying something in my own life, because that's the way that I'm going to be able to speak boldness into someone else who's doing it, but also so I can be that example for the people around me. So anytime I do a video, like I always say, it's not just for me to bash you or to tell you like, what are you doing wrong? It's more so to hold me accountable and to say, how can I improve an area? Because we're all trying to be better individuals each day. At least that should be the goal. But if not, hopefully it is that you're trying to become better. But if not, maybe you can help the person around you or share this with someone around you. I don't know. But thank you so much for watching. Like I always say, sa convio que quieres ver en otros. Until next time, bye.